Why isn't is comparison used in place of equals equals for primitive types? When I'm using PyTest for Python formatting, it complains about doing something like and once. I know there can only be one copy of true/false/none, but I thought all primitives are immutable types. Under what circumstances would equals equals and is comparison be different for primitive types? Otherwise, why has equals equals become the norm in comparison tasks? I found the Stack Overflow post that talks about comparison with non-primitive types, but I can't seem to find a reason for why its comparison might be dangerous with primitive types. Comparison with Boolean NumPy arrays versus PEP 8e712. If it's just convention, I would think that is more legible than equals equals, but I feel like there could be some crazy edge cases where maybe there are more than one copy of a primitive type.
Python does not have primitive types. Everything in Python is an object. Generally, the only place you should use is our own language guaranteed singletons, like true, false, and none, or, say for debugging purposes, you actually want to check object identity. In every other case, you will be relying on implementation details and implementation-specific optimizations if you use is to mean equality, for example the peephole optimizer and string interning. The equality operator is equals equals and should be used in those cases. While often, the Python interpreter will optimize immutable types, you should still not rely on identity when you mean equality, because mostly that is not a language guarantee. As an example, while on Python 3.7, you can be tempted choose to use is to compare small integers because they are cached. This is an implementation detail that should not be relied upon. This is free to change in Python 3.9 or whenever. Also, see the comment by @user2357112 about how it isn't even necessarily safe for the small integers that are cached. To reiterate, it is not a language guarantee, it is a side effect of how it was implemented. And also, again, it only applies to small integers, -5, 256, so. Note, I put the actual addition in a function. The interpreter frequently optimizes immutable literals and arithmetic expressions. But it should be obvious now why you cannot rely on that. Another example where it is appropriate to use is for equality-ish comparisons is to compare enum types, which are guaranteed singletons.
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.